Jay Edwards, SPRY training. No, I'm not a bodybuilder, but we've got today a question from one of our followers on Instagram by the name of George. George is asking how he can develop his upper body strength and quickness of feats for rugby. George goes on to say he is 16 years old, he plays rugby union and he plays number 8 position. First thing, George, needs analysis. So what we know as strength coaches, needs analysis of your sports. You're a number 8 player, you're the spine of the scrum. We know you have to take a lot of balls forward, you've got a lot of tackling to do and a lot of pushing to do, a lot of pulling to do. You are the spine of the scrum, so therefore you need to develop a lot of upper body strength, which what you've asked for. Needs analysis as an athlete. So as an athlete, you provided very little information, but we'll work with what we have in order to give you needs analysis. So needs analysis of an athlete can go as deep as your metabolic credibilities and your biomechanics, and goes a lot deeper. But I have not seen you play rugby. I don't really understand, but I'll give it a bloody good go and give you the answers you need. For upper body strength, I'll give you 4 lifts or 4 exercises in my opinion, think are really good for upper body strength. One is the bench press. 2 is chin-ups. 3 is bent over back rows. And 4 is a 1-arm barbell lift. You literally have a barbell and you lift it with 1 arm and you bring it back down for various repetitions. All the exercises I've suggested for size, to put on a bit more muscle. Initially I suggest you go for 8 to 12 reps, then bring the repetition down probably 5 times 5, and then bringing it down to 3 reps of say 6 sets to come more into the strength parameters. This is all periodization. I won't go too much into periodization for you, but some athletes we have periodization. It's literally the exercises that they have to do over a particular time in order to peak at the right times and not to tire out with the central nervous system. We utilize Western periodization at SPRY training and also the conjugate method by Westside Barbell. We use various different processes in order to get the right periodization for you. In the periodization we have a macro cycle, and within the macro cycle we have a mesocycle and a microcycle. A microcycle could be the differences you do over a couple of days to prevent you from reaching fatigue in your program and not being able to capitalize and grow. So the periodization, this is the reason why we have different rep ranges. And why I suggested for you to do different rep ranges. So it's now for you to get back to me, and we could probably work out a periodization program for you and map out with more information from you where you need to be lifting at what times. But as a general rule for strength, you want to be working with less reps with heavier weights. Going into the second attribute you've asked about is quickness of feet. We don't necessarily work on developing quickness of feet. We know people use agility ladders where they go up and down, hopping and trying to move really fast on the feet. We don't utilize agility ladders to develop this. We only use the agility ladder for central nervous system activation in terms of taxing the CNS in order to have the ability to move that fast. But we more so work on your agility and your leg strength in order to move quicker over a distance, so velocity. So first, looking at leg strength, developing your leg strength, squatting and deadlifting, very important for developing your leg strength. So doing a lot of squats in your program, I'd suggest you squat 2 times a week. Minimum. Doing deadlifts as well. There's other lifts you can do which are more athletic. So it's a one leg barbell step up. You literally step up on a box with a barbell behind you. Make sure you have a spotter behind you, because if you do come down, you are asking for an ACL tear. These lifts as well, it's in the same rep range. You want to start off a bit higher if you want to develop muscle, but as a rule of speaking in general, you want to be in a lower rep range in order to develop strength. Also, other athletic movements like moving laterally with a band. Laterally is moving from side to side. There's a lot of that movement, as you know, in rugby. There's various little clips I've put in here which you can see stuff we've done before. So running side to side is a good way to start. Being able to move off your first feet really powerfully in order to pick up speed. Using 2 dumbbells in your hand in order to decelerate. The ability to slow down is a good way to start in order to accelerate. Lying down flat on your stomach. I'm sure you probably have done this one in training. Then up and explode with leg strength and increasing agility. You will undoubtedly, as data do suggest, develop quickness and the ability to accelerate faster over time. Also, I'd like to add, in terms of nutrition, you should think about possibly supplementing with a whey protein or even a weight gainer if you're not getting enough calories into your diet on a daily basis. From what you've said, you know, you could be from anywhere to 2,500 up to 3,000 plus on a daily. If you're not getting that in, unfortunately, this could take a toll on the results that you will achieve. I won't go too much more in depth on this video. If you do need more help, George, do drop us an email at info@sprytraining.com or send us another Instagram message or Twitter. Get in touch. Don't try it on your own, or seek another advice from strength coaches you know. But this is the information we're offering you, and if you do need more help, just get in touch. Do remember to lift safely. Also, for rugby players, I will also point out to you, most of the rugby players we deal with in terms of rehabilitation, it always tends to be a rotator cuff issue or some shoulder joint, like the AC joint problem, or mobility in the shoulders. I'd say make sure you work on your mobility constantly. Get yourself a resistance band, and there's various mobility exercises you can do. We could put in another video for you, and keeping on top of that to reduce the chances of injury. Stretching and strengthening your shoulders. Finally, what I'd like to mention, you will reach sticking points within your lifts. You will not just start lifting and constantly get better. You will have to address this through either accommodating resistance, which means using chains and bands, which is a good way we've developed from the conjugate method with Louis Simmons, of using these tools in order to help you develop at the point where you're struggling. So if you're struggling at the bottom of the lift or at the top of the lift, accommodating resistance is the way to go. And using auxiliary lifts. So auxiliary lifts such as working on your triceps. So tricep moves like even a French press, a dumbbell behind your head and upwards. This could help with your bench press, lifting more. There's also other moves that we use to help your squat and your deadlift, like the reverse hyper, but we won't go too much into that. So if you do reach sticking points, don't be dismayed. There's loads of other stuff you can do to help you to get through these. Jay Edwards, SPRY Training. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel. We're going to be putting more information on this channel every Tuesday and Wednesday. So do not hesitate to send your questions in. Thanks for the question, George. Much appreciated. and I hope this goes out and help you to achieve you becoming a stronger and bigger number 8 rugby player.